Several groups are working hard both for and against Amendment 2, which would legalize sports betting under the guise that it will either help or hurt Missouri education programs. But as we learned, the big spenders are the pro sports teams and casinos. So KOMU 8's Bethany Cates investigates the real impact of Amendment 2 on Missouri educators.
The answer remains unclear if legalized sports betting will in fact bring in more funding for Missouri education. Ads in support claim betting will increase funding by millions, and those against say there is no guarantee a single penny will be provided to fund schools. I spoke with an MU political science professor and the president of the Kansas City Teachers Union to read in between the lines on this amendment.
Education is really important to me, and that's why I'm voting for Amendment 2.
Amendment 2, a deceptive measure they claim will fund education.
On the surface, political professor Peveril Squires says the motivation behind a yes vote on the bill is simple.
The advertising right now is promising large sums of money, or seemingly large sums of money, for education that will be produced through the sports betting.
But Missouri voters will have to decide if they believe the state will deliver on Amendment 2.
The problem is, of course, the legislature, it can be remarkably creative in moving funds around. And so while there are certain assurances that are being offered that this will produce more money for education than would have been the case, it's not clear that will actually happen.
Historically, the state has said it uses casino revenues to increase educational funds. However, Jason Roberts, the president of the Kansas City Teachers Union, is skeptical about the amounts of money being promised.
Way back in the 90s, when they asked us to pass casinos, they promised us that if you do that, we're going to fully fund education and you're never going to have any other education problems. That did not happen.
According to the Secretary of State, the amendment would place a 10% wagering tax on revenues received to be appropriated for educational expenses. But Roberts says the ballot language does not include a non-supplant clause.
What they're trying to tell us is the state already funds education at X amount, and this is going to be extra money. So with the absence of a non-supplant clause, the government obviously likes this because they can reduce the amount that they are contributing to education. This isn't additional funds.
Now, Roberts says that educational funding split could be distributed amongst 400 plus K through 12 school districts, religious schools, charter schools, colleges and universities, parochial schools, and private schools in the state of Missouri, leaving very little money on the table.
And if we did see a $5 million increase divided among everyone, it's not enough to make the promises that they're telling us that they're going to give us.
While the actual revenue generated from sports betting for education remains unknown, the decision now lies in the hands of Missouri voters. While there has been studies and research to show how much could be generated from legalized sports betting, there's truly no way of knowing the total revenue. In the studio, Bethany Cates, KOMU 8 News.